What's up, my friends? Two more packages came in the mail yesterday, and they are both vertical RK3326 handheld devices like we're so familiar with these days. Here's one of them right here. This is the XGB36. It has one stick down below the D-pad. It looks like it's running Emulation 4.3. There's the specs for you guys if you want to read them. Let me just swipe over a little bit and let you see the other one. First, real quick, here's some more specs for you guys on the XGB36. And you can see the purple looks a lot different right there than it looks there. So we'll see. I ordered the purple on this one. The other device is this right here, the RGB36. And this one looks like a Miyoo Mini Plus. Dropped this D-pad down below and popped out a couple asymmetrical sticks. I'm not sure how they're going to run, what they have on them. We'll find out together and see if they're worth buying. All right, stay tuned. So we'll start by taking them out of the packages, their mailers first, and comparing the boxes to each other. And then we'll go from there. Which one should I open first? Start with the little one. This one looks like it's gonna be harder to open. All right, so where's the spot for the scissors? That works. See if I can be good to the box underneath. Is that enough? No, look at that tape right there. I'm going to be tearing through that if I don't just give it another snip. All right, there we are. Here's the first box, and it is the RGB36 Pro. Look at that. It didn't say Pro on the listing. So this is kind of cool. It reminds me of the Miyoo Mini box, which is kind of funny because this is the one that kind of looks like a Miyoo Mini. We're not going to open it just yet. Let's look at what it says on it. Supports external micro SD card, battery life 7 to 8 hours, 3.5-inch screen, IPS display. What else? 3000 milliamp hour battery. We got the white one. Oh, there's 4 colors here. Okay. And here we are. Go ahead and read that, you guys, if you want, right there. Might be something interesting. I'm going to set this aside, and we're not going to open it yet. We're going to open up the other box first and just compare the two boxes. Yeah, I have my whole label taped up. I'm not sure what needs to be hidden on there and what doesn't. All you crazy folks out there. I'm just kidding. Alright, so we're getting through this one. Trying our best not to damage the box underneath. I think that'll do it. All right, this one has some bubble wrap. The other one didn't, but for not having any bubble wrap, it showed up in pretty decent condition. Look at that little dent right there. Not bad though. All right. So this one came more protected, and look at that. It has the Game Master name on it. That is the R36 family. We know that the R36S has a Game Master box. I'd pull it out right now, but there's about 5 other boxes on front of it, or in front of it. You know what? I'm gonna get it for you right here. Take a look. So we have another Game Master, the R36S. They are related in some way, somehow. We'll find out. But as you can see, it says XGB36. So we have R36S and XGB36. I wonder what those letters mean. Well, we'll find out how this thing looks and plays in just a minute. Let me get this bubble wrap off. Take a close look at this box. All right, it's actually a really nice box. The print is vibrant. The purple here looks actually better than it does on the first render that I saw. So hopefully it is that purple and not that super bright indigo looking purple. But yeah, here we are with this is the first one I showed you in the picture with one stick, D-pad up top. I really hope there's a pivot on that D-pad. Those buttons are probably connected. I'm guessing they are. This is a Game Master device, so that's how they do those things. What do we have here? Systema Linux Emulation or Emulation Station 4.7, 1 gig of DDR3L RAM, RK3326A+, whatever that means, 3.5-inch screen, Mali G31 MP2, 520 megahertz. and the bateria is 3,500 milliamp hour battery. So this has 500 milliamp hour batteries, or power more. PSP, Dreamcast, N64, Nintendo DS, PS1, and everything below. All right, so which one should we check out first? Let me think about it. It's a hard choice to figure out which one to open first. I'm actually really curious about this, being that it looks similar to a Miyoo Mini Plus with sticks, but then I'm also very curious about this because it's a Game Master and it's related to the R36S, which so many of you guys know on my channel is pretty much one of the consoles that kind of built this channel. So we're going to start by just opening this. We're not going to start it up yet. We're just going to take a look at it, and then we'll do the same with this. We'll open it, we'll take a look at it, and then we'll figure out which one we want to start first. All right, I'm going to move this one aside. Let's just take a look at this one. My biggest dream is to stay young forever. All right, here we go. We have the white foam, my favorite. Just trying to avoid causing shadows here. And let's see, before we pull this device out, let's see what's in the box. We have a charging cable, USB-C to USB-A, and we have a manual, which we can check out later. Here we go. Moment of truth. All right, so that purple, that looks okay. That's not too bad. What do you guys think? The screen looks a little smudgy, but there's a protector on it. I'm just going to leave it on for the moment. What do you guys think that D-pad's going to feel like? It looks like it's not going to feel that good. I mean, it has a nice little contour, but I'm afraid it's not going to have a pivot. Here's our back buttons. Wow, they look almost identical to the R36S. So there we are, face buttons, D-pad. Let's give them a try. Don't tell me about my hand shaking. I already know. I'm already holding it up super close, and oh, there's no pivot. Now my hands are shaking. There's no pivot on the D-pad. That is such a bummer. So still, R36S is the king. This is not the Game Master. I'll tell you, Game Master has to have a pivot. If you want to be a master, you put a pivot on that D-pad. So that's unfortunate. The stick does click, the only stick, and the buttons, they feel pretty good. I don't see any other button. What, are they moving when I'm pressing them? They don't look like they're connected. They don't feel like they're connected either. So they're slightly rounder than the R36S buttons, as you can see, but they look kind of the same with those embossed letters. But they feel good. You could probably hear that. They're snappy. So yeah, all right, let's take a look around the device. Let me zoom in so I can put my shaky hands down on the table here. 1x, let's go 1.5. No, that's too far. All right, so here we are with our purple Game Master XGB36 function button that probably does nothing. Start, select, YX, BA, stick, D-pad, power button, reset. Here's our TF2 slot, so that's the game card slot right there. On this side, we're going to have our system slot, which is empty, so that's kind of funny. I guess they probably have them labeled wrong. This says operating system, but it's empty, and this one says game, so maybe that's actually the operating system, and this is the game. I guess we'll find out. Volume up and down. On the top, we don't have anything at all. On the bottom, we have two USB-C ports, the DC power port and an OTG port, along with a 3.5mm headphone jack. And we have a battery latch. So let's take a look at the battery. There's our battery. Looks exactly like the one in a lot of the R36S's. Consola Retro. So this thing is in Spanish. That's I noticed that on the box. I didn't know if the whole thing was going to be like that, but we got some stuff there to read. Let's click these buttons and see what they sound like. Are they going to be better than the R36S? They're the same. They're the same buttons. All right, so there we are. We have this funny little wannabe Game Boy speaker with this rounded corner right there. I kind of like that the other one is symmetrical and doesn't have this rounded corner. That's getting a little old to me. There's not really in my opinion, there's not really a need to make everything look like that. But yeah, so here we are. Looks pretty cool, not too bad. Terrible D-pad. I haven't even tried it, but I'm already disappointed. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to take a look at the other one before we decide which one we're going to start first. It's probably going to be this one. Okay, here we go. The R36 Pro. I'm not even going to bother zooming out right now and trying to do this because I mess up everything when I'm trying to zoom the camera. So let's just slide this out. We have a manual right on top greeting us. We have no white foam on this one right here. So there we are with our R36 Pro. Since it's in my hands, I might as well open it and let you get it. Oh, yeah, it is a, thought it was just one sheet. So there we are. It is one sheet, but at least it folds in half. So that's what we have right there. Feel free to pause it. And our specs and stuff, 64-bit Cortex A7 1.5 gigahertz. Let's move that aside. And it is the white one, and it really does look like a Miyoo Mini. Holy cow. Looks very similar to a Miyoo Mini Plus. I might need to pull my Miyoo Mini Plus. Actually, I have it in a silicone right here. Take a look at the buttons, the D-pad. They look so similar. Later I'll pull the silicone out if I can remember. Even the back buttons, the shoulder buttons look the same. So this thing was like, I think it was like 40 bucks before I pull it out. Yeah, all right, so we have the same little, a tiny little charging cable in there. Nothing else under there. All right, let's move this aside. So there we are with our Miyoo Mini Plus with sticks. Everybody's going to be mad about that D-pad down there on the bottom. And you know what, my friends? It doesn't have a pivot. I can't remember. I probably am going to say I can't recommend either of these to anybody. That's just the way I am. This should be up there anyway instead of down here. But hey, it might be kind of fun to play some N64 on here if it plays. But you guys, that's what I'm doing. I'm buying these things so that you don't have to. Let's see what else it has going for it. Obviously, terrible D-pad. Let's see how the buttons feel. Okay, they look nice. Everything looks nice here. But you know what? That D-pad does kind of look cheap compared to the Miyoo Mini D-pad. I'm going to pull that out for a second again. This is a little bit rounder. Yeah, this one kind of looks cheap. It's like a clone, a fake clone. Terrible job. It feels really light. It definitely feels lighter than the Miyoo Mini, and it's got more hardware going on, you know? But anyway, so the sticks, they click. All right, the buttons, the face buttons, they feel fine. They feel great, you know? Nothing wrong with the face buttons at all. They're quiet too. Start and select have little micro switches or dome switches, I'm not sure, and function. But man, why can't they just put a pivot on these D-pads? 2 in a row. What a bummer. Anyway, 3.5mm headphone jack, SD card slot, charging port, another SD card slot. There's no label on them, so I'm not sure what says what is what. And is there anything in there? No, I think that one's empty. They're both empty. No, there's one in here. I'm tripping. There's one in there. Okay. So the top looks like we have a little battery indicator or something. And then we have power and volume on the left side right here. We have a home button too. So home, power, volume down, and volume up. Let's see how these shoulder buttons sound. Oh man. So yeah, they sound just like an R36S. Again, they're trying to look like a Miyoo Mini Plus or Miyoo Mini, but Miyoo Mini is quality. Listen to that. They just feel so much nicer. Wow. So yeah, someone's just biting the Miyoo Mini style and taking everything that's good about it away. So this could still be a decent budget system for those people who don't care about that pivot. That's something for me that's a deal breaker though. So here we are, both devices, XGB36 and RGB36. One with 2 sticks, one with 1, both with what I'm gonna guess are pretty bad D-pads. So we're going to start by starting this one up and seeing how it runs, and then we'll check this one out. Before I started up, I just remembered I showed the battery on this one, but not this, and it has a latch too, so let's just take a quick look. And there it is. It feels super light. It's in there with some kind of adhesive. I can't remember which one's which in regards to the power. One of them's 3000 milliamp hour and one's 3500. Take a look at those specs at the beginning of the video. If not, I'll have them in the description for each of these consoles. But we're going to start with this one now. Let's just start it up and see what happens. This is going to be a first for both of us. And like I said, this has the card is in the game slot. There's nothing in the operating system slot. So let's see what happens. Here goes. All right, there we go with the same boot logo as we're familiar with the R36S. I heard a little snap on the speaker right there. We even have an RGB, so that's why they call this the RGB, because there's a ring around the stick. Emulation station. Experts, you guys tell me what I'm looking at here. I'm going to press start really quick, and if we can see, Emulation ES V4 4.7, no internet. So here's all our stuff right here. The D-pad feels a little bit tight, a little bit mushy. Obviously, it doesn't have a pivot, so I'm not happy, but it feels even kind of worse than just not having a pivot. It feels pretty much the same as an R36 membrane. It's just really tight. But the face buttons feel good. So let's zoom in a little bit. Since you've seen the device, the stick looks pretty cool. Let's zoom in onto the screen and just scroll through the systems and see what we have going here. All right, so favorites. We have 48 games in the favorites. I'm guessing they're going to be those arcade games like always. Whoops. Yep, always starting with 64th Street. All right, so favorites, MAME. Almost 2,000 games, and we have some music in the background. Ninja Turtles, cool. 1927, Capcom's Play System 1, 32, Play System 2, 37, Play System 3, 4 games. Pretty much what to expect. Usually, this sometimes has 6, not usually, but oftentimes it has 6. And PC Engine, or TurboGrafx 16, 359 games. Famicom Disk System, that's a little loud. Almost 1,700 games, 500 for Nintendo. It's just going to be, I'm not going to read them all to you guys. Let's just flip through. It's the same on every R36S build. It's just that they're using the same game build, but we'll have to see if there's any Mario games in here. So I'm guessing there's going to be, because these have the same numbers as other systems that did have the Mario games. So let me just move back through now to like Super Nintendo, or let's just go Game Boy. No, Super Nintendo. Yeah, let's just go here, and we have our Portuguese Brazilian section, which is cool. I know, but yeah, let's just get to a couple games, try a couple out, see how this D-pad feels. We're gonna try that one right there. I should zoom out a little bit so the D-pad is in the frame. Not that you guys probably need to see it, but hey, there we are. So I'm not going to be using the stick for this. We'll try that for some N64. Speaker sounds good. Yeah, speaker sounds nice. Screen looks really nice. Nice and crisp. Bright. Saturated. All right, let's just play the first level. I noticed something. I don't think any hotkeys are set on this thing. All I can do is press select and start, and it'll exit the game. I can't get into RetroArch. The function menu nothing works. I'm not sure what to press. The only thing I haven't pressed is that. So I think there's some problems with this device right here until we get some developers out there who can program this, who know more about what they're doing than I do. But let's just go back in here for a second, play for a minute, and then I'll show you there's really no way to save a game or anything. So it's kind of messed up. And yeah, I think I'm not going to say I died because of the terrible D-pad, but what is happening here? Something's spazzing out, like it's a messed up ROM. Like the whole screen just moved to the right. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know what is going on with this thing. It doesn't feel right. I don't know. Something weird just happened there. Now it feels like it's working normally. Actually, perfectly fine now at the moment. But just a second ago, I'm not sure what just happened there. So, yeah, I'm not gonna curate this video and make it look like I'm really good at video games or anything. So let's just roll with it and see how this thing goes. The D-pad doesn't feel too bad now that I'm actually playing, but this isn't the kind of game that I really need a pivot on a D-pad for. But despite all that complaining about the D-pad, being that there's no save states or any of that, this is just not an option that I would recommend to anybody. So yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'll show you right here. I don't even think we need to go through the whole first level. It's just kind of unfortunate. We'll still try Street Fighter and see if we can do a Hadouken or Shoryuken with this D-pad, but I don't know if I'll put as much time into this video or this device as I thought I was going to, because if you can't save your games and you can't do all the things you can do on an R36S and every other device out there, then what's the point? Especially for the same price or more. So yeah, it's even more than an R36S. So I definitely don't recommend this. I'm sorry, I gotta say, this thing does not outshine an R36S or almost any other device that's running with an RK3326 chip. So hey, it is what it is. You can't win them all. Come on, dude. All right. So look at this. Nothing. Function. Nothing. Only volume on the side. Volume works, but pressing in the stick. So all I could do is press start and select, and it's going to exit the game. So there it is. We have no save states yet. Maybe we can figure it out. Someone can get into the RetroArch menu or whatever is going on inside here. It says menu right there, and you have this, but I don't know enough to set things up from this front end right here so that we can get all the RetroArch stuff working once we're in an emulator. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Let's just try some Street Fighter 2 to test this funky D-pad, and then after that we'll do some Mario Kart 64 or something to test the stick, and then I think we're going to move on to the other console, because not being able to get into RetroArch or save our games, that's a deal breaker for me. Hopefully someone will figure out how to do that with this device, but even if, I wouldn't recommend it over an R36S or plenty of other devices. So let's just do this. Yeah, I could say the face buttons feel maybe a little bit better than the R36S, but the D-pad is way worse. And that's saying a lot, because the R36S doesn't have a great D-pad. You can see I'm still able to pull off a fireball, and jump, I get my diagonals, but they're not easy. Yeah, they're not coming out very easily. I still haven't pulled off a Shoryuken, so I'll have to try one more round. What a bummer. I guess we have enough of these out, but that just means there's going to be a bunch of these in a landfill eventually. You know, why make more if they're going to suck? Why not just stick with what works? Just people trying, I guess. See, there it is. People trying to make money, you know, buying other people's style, taking shortcuts, and this is what you get. But you know what? I'm glad I'm able to show you guys so you guys don't buy it unless you want it. Man, look at that. He didn't like that. So that's Street Fighter 2. The D-pad works despite not having a pivot, but it doesn't feel good. The edges are kind of sharp on it too. So let's back out of here again. Let's test. Nothing we can do. Should we try this button here? That's the only thing I haven't attempted yet to get into a menu, but that's just going to reset the system, I'm telling you. That's just, I'm going to press it, and it reset the system. So what I'll do now is I'll just cut this right here, and we'll go to Mario Kart 64, give that a shot, and then we're going to test out this device right here. Maybe this one will be a little bit better. I just said we're going to try N64 and cut it from there, but I just thought, you know, we should actually test Dreamcast and PSP on here too, so I'll at least try one game on each of those systems and see how they work. We have the little screensaver going now. That's working on here. I just let it sit for a minute and it started playing. Let's see if I press to the right and it goes to another game. It's the same game. It's just sticking. Oh, there we go. Now it went to. I guess maybe we had 3 Street Fighters in a row. Now we have Golden Axe. So yeah, this is a cool feature. I like this. And if you press the button, it should start the game. Maybe we'll test that real quick. Nope, It just brought us back to the menu. So it's a little different. Yeah, this thing is not fine-tuned. We're going to go to Mario Kart 64, test that out. Then we'll test something on PSP. So thumbstick, Z button, R button, B and A. It feels pretty awkward having the thumbstick down at the bottom for N64 like this while you're trying to hold this button. So I think it's gonna, this other console is actually could potentially be decent for N64. Still doesn't have a good D-pad, but we don't need a D-pad for this game, so. All right. Ooh, choppy, choppy. Yeah, it's pretty funny to hold. I don't know why it feels less comfortable than the R36S to reach that. The thumbstick, I don't know, something's different about it. Something feels a little strange. Oh my goodness. Alright, well the thumbstick works. Buttons are mapped correctly. Man, it's a dramatic start. So N64 seems like it plays well on here, but again, what's the point if we can't save our games? We have an emulation device, and you can't save your games. You're kind of selling yourself short, or the device is selling itself short. What a wasted opportunity. I know someone will fix it, but I guess that's kind of how it is when. It seems like whenever I get a device early, there's some kinks that need to be ironed out. So maybe that's just what will be the case with this. Someone will make a build that'll work for it. If not, maybe the R36S card will just work in this device. I wonder. I really have no clue. But yeah, here we are with Mario 64, and I think we played enough to see how it plays. I'm gonna pause it and let's see. One more time. Select X, nothing. Function, nothing. Both buttons, takes us out of the game. All right, it is what it is. Let's try some PSP. All right, so we have Grand Theft Auto. A bunch of other stuff in here, but we're gonna do Grand Theft Auto. See if we can get it into a menu on PSP. Pressing the stick in, nothing. Man, how unfortunate. Whoa! So yeah, we're just gonna try to, I'm gonna skip this whole intro for you guys. But yeah, no way to get into the PPSSPP menu. It's unfortunate. Oh, there it is. Select and cross, or select and B. We got it. Select and B. Now I'm gonna have to go try one of those other systems again. All right, let's just keep going for the moment, if it lets me. Oh, there we go. Let's just do this. All right. Woo! I hurt myself quickly. Let's just get out of this complex. Sorry, buds. It's trying to hit me with a baton. Dude, I can't ride a motorcycle. Let's just go out into the street and jack a car. Big old truck, mattress truck. Oh, that's a U-Haul. All right, there we are. So, yeah, just like an R36S, plays this as well as you'd expect it to. And it is what it is. We do have PPSSPP, so now I have to go back and see if I could get the RetroArch menu by pressing select and B. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that's what they chose for this one. So let's get out of Grand Theft Auto and go back into RetroArch. So there we are, select NB and exit. All right, so we're out of there. We're in here. We have all our settings. That's great. You know, so this is all here. That's good. Wow, they have it on 2 PSP. Let's take that down to 1, and it's going to play a lot better. I'm going to put frame skip is already on too. So, okay, let's exit out of here. That's going to play better now. But let's just go back into RetroArch. So we're just going to go into Nintendo here. Super Mario Brothers. Look, all the Marios were right at the top for Nintendo. Let's see if we can exit or get into the RetroArch menu by pressing one of these other letters. Because I pressed select and B and it worked for PPSSPP. It should be select and X. No. Select and Y. No. Select and A. No. Select and B. No. There is no hotkey that works. The only hotkeys that work are start and select to exit the game. So yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. You can play PSP on here, but yeah. Let's see if Dreamcast lets us play and get to any kind of settings or menu. All right, so let's just do Marvel versus Cap. Just give this one shot. Surprised they didn't even have a virtual tennis on this one. They almost always have it. Oh, disaster. Oh, I'm trying to throw fireballs too quickly. My boxes fell down. It's a little choppy, a little funky. Something's, yeah, it's choppy. And there's no way to get to the menu, so yeah. All right, this is a machine that only plays PSP effectively. So it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna stop with this system right here, and we're gonna try the other one. So let's just shut this thing down. Yes. So as I was boxing this thing back up, I saw the manual down on the bottom and I took a closer look and I noticed it was an R36S manual. So it has all the hotkeys listed in here for an R36S, which is what I would have expected them to be on here, but none of them worked. So we'll have to see if someone could come up with a fix for that. I'm sure there's a pretty easy fix. PPSSPP works on this, but RetroArch needs some work. All right, so we're gonna set this aside. I'm gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna come back and take a look at the RGB36 Pro. So here we are with the RGB36 Pro right next to the Miyoo Mini Plus. As you can see up close, they definitely took inspiration from the Miyoo Mini. We have the same font under the buttons, the same color buttons, D-pad that looks very similar, but definitely a different D-pad, and we have asymmetrical sticks. The color seems a little bit more of an off-white than the white Miyoo Mini Plus, and the buttons are definitely louder. So we're gonna set this one aside. We're gonna turn this one on. Hopefully it's gonna do better than the other one did, and we'll find out right now. Let's turn it on. Let me zoom in a little bit closer first. All right, here we go. Where's the power button? Right here. Here we go. What does that say? I couldn't tell what that said. Come on, baby. ArkOS 2.0. Oh, that looked like 2022. Looks like a really old ArkOS build. All right, so this looks good. This looks like it should, and the D-pad actually feels decent to move. It doesn't have a pivot, but it's much lighter on the touch than the ZBG Pro or whatever that was called, the Game Master one. Yeah, so this looks normal. Let's go into the Emulation Station menu and see what's going on. Oh, no. Why do they do this? I guess they do it so that people don't destroy the thing and make it unplayable because it's kind of complicated, but they scale down the whole menu. It's gone. We have display settings. We have brightness. That's it. Sound settings. Sound. And quit. That's it. So look, it is a 22 version of ArkOS. I wonder if we can get a newer version working on this. Those of you that know more than I, let me know in the comments. Let's check the brightness and just see how dim it gets from 100. So here we go. Wow, it gets really dim. So if this thing ends up being like a decent device to play, it could be good for bed, because at night, because the buttons are quiet. I just backed out of there. The buttons are quiet, except for these ones. These are not quiet. Don't play any shoulder button games. But yeah, there we are. So scaled back emulation station menu. I'm guessing RetroArch might be the same. I don't even know where to start. Let's just go into PSP here first. Now actually PSP, we would be looking at the PSP menu, but why don't we just try that first anyway? It's not going to take as long. So far, I haven't heard any audio. Well, there it is. All right. X is mapped correctly. We have proper aspect ratio. Man, I hope this function button works. We're going to test it right now. No, nothing. Okay, so select and start, closed out of the... Okay, so select and start closed out. Function button didn't do anything. On the other console, it was select and B, or select and cross, whatever you want to call it. So we'll try that next. Let's try that. Nope. Let's push in the stick. Oh, there we go. Which stick was it? All right, so we got the menu. Let's just press again. Left stick doesn't do anything. Right stick. Right stick gets us into the PPSSPP menu. And it, keep pressing back. Looks like we have everything here. So frame skipping 1. What is the doesn't even have upscaling or whatever. It doesn't have 2x PSP like the other one did. Does it? No, it says full screen, but oh, there it is, 1x PSP. All right, so we're gonna leave that where it is and just press continue and just test the game out. I'll try to skip this and get to the beginning. So this D-pad down at the bottom is a little funny. I wonder if the stick works since it's PSP. I'm not sure. I wouldn't like to play with the stick, but these are 3D fighters. I don't like 3D fighters anyway. Oh man, I definitely feel that lack of a pivot the moment I start to try to roll the D-pad around. But wow, it's playing nicely and it looks nice. The graphics look decent, even at 1x PSP or PSP not upscaled at all. Yeah, this is working. Ow. There we are. All right, that's a little PSP. We don't need to play any more of that. We know how to get into the menu. Select, B. Wait, how was it? It was the button, that's right. The right stick. The other console, select and B, and this one is just pressing in the right stick. So that's cool. I'm gonna exit out of here. Looks like some other games have been played. What is it? Dragon Ball Z and Mega Slug, or Metal Slug. That's one that's gonna play on any system on PSP. Not any system, but it should play pretty easy. All right, ArkOS, are you gonna have RetroArch for us? Since Emulation Station is completely scaled down, let's just go into a basic game. Not arcade though. I want to just go into a console game, something I'm a little bit familiar with. Let's just do Aladdin. It's right here. All right, so now we're gonna try to find that RetroArch menu. I guess the first thing I'll press is function once again. And I think it's just like all the R36S. This looks like a Miyoo Mini Plus, but whatever's going on inside, being that it's ArkOS, this function button still doesn't work. So select and B. What did that do? It reset. It said reset. Okay, select an X like it should be, like it is on every other console. There we are. Okay, so this one's cool. We're good here. We don't have a lot going on in Emulation Station, but we have our RetroArch settings here. So hopefully we could find this in the other one. And honestly, this D-pad, despite lacking a pivot, it's not that bad. So now that we have RetroArch here and everything looks like everything is here that we need, we're gonna quit RetroArch here, and I'm just gonna do a playthrough of some different games, and we'll see how the games run on here. All right, I don't think you guys need to see Aladdin, so let me think of some other games. Start with something. Let's start with Street Fighter 2 just to test this D-pad, and then from there we'll move on to Oh man, you can't even skip by 10s on this one. You got to go down the whole time. But let's just try Street Fighter 2, then we'll do a short little gameplay session with a few different games. Street Fighter 2, here we go. So this one is better than the other one, for sure. Even though it's got this funny... Honestly, the D-pad doesn't really bother me down there. It's not... It makes it so that the thumbstick isn't in the way when I do my Hadoukens and Shoryukens. And it could be good, like I was saying earlier, for N64, being with the thumbstick up on top. So there could be a place for this little handheld here. Not too many handhelds have asymmetrical sticks like this. And it's in English. Buttons are mapped correctly. Let me put the volume up a little bit. I was about to press power. Here we go. So this would be a nice one to have. I wonder if any of my comfort grips would fit on this. But being that the D-pad's at the bottom, we're going to see how this works. Damn. Fireball, no problem. Alright, so all that lack of a pivot talk, sometimes it really just doesn't matter as long as there's a decent membrane underneath. And this has a good membrane. Very good. Alright, so no pivot, but this is still a good D-pad. Wow. I'm already impressed by this little thing. I wish Emulation Station had everything it needs there, but honestly, I kind of don't care, because I'm not going to mess with any of that stuff, really. It'd be nice to have different themes and stuff, but I just want to play the games anyway, and I want them to play well. And look at, they're playing well. Even though I tried to do a Shoryuken there. But I don't think I've missed a Hadouken yet. I try to get a Shoryuken there again. I always do that. When I'm walking forward and I try to get a Shoryuken, I end up throwing a fireball instead. But as you can see, Street Fighter 2 runs really well. Let's play one more round, and then we'll try something else. I'm actually happy. I thought this was going to be really bad, like the other one wasn't a good experience. This is actually a decent experience. Just want to get a couple more Shoryukens. There it is. They're still not the easiest thing in the world to do. See if we could come from the right. Oh well, I still got it perfect. The Shoryukens are not the easiest thing to do, but I'm not the best at them anyway. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here now. So, right stick. Wait, no. Select an X. Short-term memory loss, my friends. But we have everything we need here, so that's cool. All right, we're going to play a bunch of different games and just test them out. And then from there, we will figure out... Oh, I shut down the whole thing. So I'm going to start with Mario Kart for N64, just to test this stick up here. Then we'll try a bunch of different systems and games. Snap. You hear the speaker? I can't say this Whoa. The speaker is backfiring. It's I think it's coming from here. Yeah, it's coming from here, not here. So, alright. This is a shot. Sounds good. It's not glitching out. Let's see if we can get the quick start. Nope. At least I didn't spin out like I did with Yoshi. Bump into the back of Bowser. But Mario's a little tougher than Yoshi. I think Yoshi's a little quicker. Yeah, Yoshi would have probably spun out right there. I tried to get him with my banana, but I missed. It's still not easy to press the Z button, L2, to hold your items down. That's just the way it's going to be with these vertical handhelds. But hey, this is playing fine. Nintendo 64 is going to work on here for the most part. I mean, there might be some games that don't play very well, but this, in my opinion, man, look at the screen, Nick. In my opinion, this is playing really well. Oh, I didn't get Bowser. Whoops. See, I lost, I was trying to hold down the drift button and somehow I let go of it right there. And even though it did give me a little boost. Whoops. See, I thought that was going to be a red shell because I'm colorblind. And I was trying to hold it behind me. And I dropped it. I can't tell you if that's red or green right there. That's kind of unfortunate. That's green, right? Yeah, that's green. Didn't go anywhere. It's not heat seeking. One more lap of Mario Kart, my friends, and you won't have to put up with any more, at least in this video. I'll avoid Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. But hey, I might play it on Nintendo DS if it's there. You guys know it's my baseline. It's what I go to usually for Nintendo 64 just to compare to how it feels to the other consoles I play. Even though I know it's not the most demanding Nintendo 64 game. It's a good test game for me. And it's one of the games I like to play. The thumbstick works great, and it's obviously much better up on top like this for N64. So this little console is a decent little N64 console. I like it. You can see when I set it down on the table, the sound gets muffled. Can you tell? Let's see. Oh yeah. You can't even hear that high-pitched treble. That's funny. Alright, so we're going to try a bunch of different games and have a little bit of fun. I think this one's kind of cool. So we'll start with some PlayStation, Crash Bandicoot, another one of my baseline games. Alright, so thumbstick doesn't work. Actually, wait, does it? Yeah, thumbstick does work. Okay, cool. D-pad works. I'm going to use the D-pad, though. See if it's usable. I can tell you this screen is a little darker than some of the other screens that I've played this game on, because some of the screens, I rave about how bright Crash Bandicoot is on it compared to others, and this is one of the ones that is not the brightest. I shouldn't have spun on that. It's playing well though. This is where I always notice that certain screens look better than others. Right in that shadow right there to the left where that question mark is. I can see it, especially because I'm holding it like this. But you could even see right there how dark it is. Some screens you could see it so much clearer. But hey, it's still fine. Yeah, it's really dark right here compared to some of the other screens out there. But it's still playing fine. Oh. Yeah, this is really dark, and I know I set the brightness back up. Sorry if I keep moving out of screen here. Let's just end this level. Let's just get to the end. I'm not going to go backwards and try to get anything I missed here. Except for those peaches. So the D-pad's alright. I do feel a little bit like it would be better if that pivot was there, but it's really not a problem. Alright, let's try something else. So we're going to press select. Actually, let's see how many boxes I missed. 13. Alright, that's my favorite number at least. Select and X. Alright, back, press up. We don't want to go to shutdown. That's how I turned the whole console off last time. You can just go to quit RetroArch, or probably press start and select to get out if you don't have any saving you need to do. I'm sure the hotkeys and all that work on here. I'll try testing that in another game. I think we only need to do one game per system. Let's try something else. Little Jackie Chan adventure. Little beat 'em up action. Usually I like to play my beat 'em ups. I played Ninja Turtle or TMNT a lot on Game Boy. But this is another one. I wonder if the stick will work with our beat 'em ups are another one that I like to use sticks on sometimes. Especially when we have a D-pad with no pivot. So our right trigger is jump. I don't know how to pick that up. It seems like something you'd be able to pick up. Alright, let's just move on. Smack! No, you ain't getting that umbrella, dude. So Game Boy Advance isn't scaled correctly. I just realized that right now. So let's go in here and see if we could do that. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to video. We're going to go to scaling. And they have it set by 4:3. We need Game Boy Advance to be set at 3:2. So we're going to do that right here. I'm going to go back out. I'm going to take a quick look at it. And now we're scaled correctly. So I'm going to go back into the menu real quick. And I am going to, we're going to do an override for this content directory. So now every Game Boy game will be saved with that aspect ratio. One last step that I usually do, or always do, is to go down here, go up to configuration file, and save current or new configuration. So now every time you open up Game Boy Advance, it'll be aspect ratio correct. So we can go back into quick menu, resume, and let's just play for another minute. I can't do a jump kick. He could jump, but he can't kick. Oh, there it goes. All right. Yeah, this is not a beat 'em up I'm too familiar with, but I heard it's actually considered pretty good. So maybe I'll give it a try. Oh, he did some kind of backflip there. Yeah, the stick works, and it feels like this stick is straight up digital inputs only. Honestly, like the whole thing is probably pure cardinal snapping, but that's fine. And actually, this is a 3D beat 'em up, so it should work better, but it's kind of literally like up, down, left, right. Even up doesn't want to work very well, as you can see. So that's a little bit weird. But let's just kick this guy right here and get him out of here. We'll try something else. Oh, that he can run. That's a haymaker punch right there. All right, let's try something else. I didn't mention it earlier, I forgot, but this has all the Mario games on it, and it's kind of funny if you look here in the Game Boy Advance list, we have all the game art for every game, but when you get down to Mario, all of a sudden, we don't have any game art. I didn't load this stuff in here. It's just, it's not there. So we won't play any of these games right now. You've seen them before, I'm sure, but just know that they're there. They just don't have the game art for the Mario stuff. All right, let's back out of Game Boy Advance and try something else. Let's just go into DS. Do they have, yeah, we got the Mario art here. So let's see, do we have New Super Mario Brothers? We do, all right. So do we have both screens? Uh-oh, yeah, we do. There's nothing on the bottom screen right now. But let's put it on both screens just until. Top or bottom or left and right? Top and bottom. All right, let's just put the All right, let's just put the top screen up now and play one level. I'm pressing those shoulder buttons by accident. I feel a little bit of wiggle in that battery latch in the back. Might be able to fix that with something like add a piece of paper inside of there or something to make it feel a little bit tighter. That was something I also noticed on the Anbernic RG35 SP, that my first one had wiggle in the battery latch. It was a little bit loose. The other ones I got didn't. See if I can actually land at the top of the flag, like I hardly ever do. See, I was about to lose it. Yeah! It's so nice. Alright, so let's see if the RetroArch menu works here, or if drastic, it's gonna be drastic, that's right. So let's push in the thumbstick, and there it is. Left thumbstick, we have our drastic menu. Awesome. So this little console has potential. I like it. Not stoked on the pivot, but other than that, I like it. I really do. Even though they're pretty shady how much they're biting off of the Miyoo Mini. But yeah. Next we'll do a little Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. As I'm flipping through the games, I noticed there's no Sega Dreamcast on this console. That's unfortunate. We could probably load a folder onto this card and it would show up, but none today, none to try. So we're going to try some Tetris on Game Boy, see if the aspect ratio is correct, see if we could put that filter on, and just maybe test a couple more. Yeah, they definitely don't have the aspect ratio correct. So we're going to go in here, we're going to press back, we're going to go to settings, we're going to go to video, we're going to go to scaling, and we're going to change 4:3 to 10:9 right there. Press back, take a quick peek at it, and now it's like we want it, but I want to make it green with that filter. So we're going to go back in again, go back to video, and just go to video filter. I pressed up to go all the way to the bottom, and then we're going to go down to GameBoy 3X DMG. All right, so before I do anything else, quick peek. Good, that's what I want. So now I'm going to go back in. I am going to go back to, actually, we want to go to overrides. Okay, and we're going to save content directory overrides. So now everything, after I save the configuration file, should work when we open up Game Boy again. Should be, or save new configuration. Should be like that every time now. So let's just play one quick Tetris game. Not even a full game. Let's just give it a shot. See, that looks good. Not as good as some of the other ones. For some reason, actually it's because this filter only looks right when it's integer scaled. So those, yeah, that doesn't look perfect. But I'm just going to leave it for now. The screen seems a little dim too, but I'm pretty sure it's at its brightest right now. All right, let's see if this D-pad is Tetrisable. I wish I had Portmaster or something on here to play some with Patris. So as always, I'm going to try for one Tetris. Oh man, I'm already off to a bad start. Should I give up on the Tetris? Yeah, let's just see how far we can go. I'm gonna still try for it. Oh man, I blew it. Let's just do this. D-pad's perfectly fine. Alright, I won't torture you guys any longer, making you wait for me to get a Tetris. We can see Game Boy plays well. Looks okay. I might take this filter off and just leave it black and white. For some reason it looks dimmer than usual to me. But yeah, here we are. D-pad's fine. It's running fine. Alright. Alright, so I just set the proper aspect ratio for Game Boy Color. And we're just going to try a little Miss Pac-Man. It's another thing a pivot should help for. It's working. I'm able to make my turns, no problem. And we could use the thumbstick is terrible. I'll tell you. I can't even go up with the thumbstick. There's something wrong with it. So, yeah, it's just kind of in the way. Whoa. Alright, let's try something else. Let's see if Start and Select closes us out. Pressing it twice closes us out. Okay. Save states work. Pressing Select and R1. I was trying to fast forward and that's not working with R2. Well, here we are with Sega Game Gear, like always. Looks good. It's not scaled correctly here, but I actually kind of like the way it looks with the full screen right here. I'm just going to leave it for this one. I'm not a diehard Sega Game Gear guy anyway, even though I love my new GKD bubble. For now, I'm just going to keep it here. It looks nice and big. And actually it looks a lot brighter than that last game did. Or that filter really, the Game Boy filter really made the screen dark. I'll probably take that back off too and just keep it black and white. Yeah, so I'm not sure if the screen looks good. I don't know why the filter looked bad on there. I mean, the screen looks really nice right now, but it is what it is. Woo! Come on, you can get me. He's sweeping me with his feet. Dude, I don't want to go in the hole. I'm not good at this game. Wow, I don't know what happened there. There we are. Punch him in the knees. What is that thing anyway? Like a walking clock with legs that he uses as brooms? Oh, I broke him. Ooh, now I got a weapon. Can I pick it up? All right. All right. Let's try something else. That's good for Game Gear. Neo Geo. Metal Slug. They have all of them in here. Let's just try one of the Metal Slugs. Let's see if we have RetroArch here too. Yes, we do. All right. A little bit of slowdown. I think that happens though with these games. It's kind of common. Famicom, Nintendo. Should we just do some official Famicom games? Oh, this one's in Spanish. Or is that Portuguese? I think it's Spanish, right? Oh man. I was about to fly. I can still get a chance. Get out of my way. Yeah. Oh man, I thought he was gonna go the other way. We're going to try a little bit of Yoshi's Island here, just because I hear it's one of the harder ones to emulate on Super Nintendo. Let's see how it runs on here. I don't really know how to play this game, so I'm just going to play a little bit of the beginning, like the first level, and then we'll move on. Alright. Okay. Tongue. Eat this guy, spit him out. Yep. What's that mushroom looking thing underneath me? Ooh. Yeah. That's what I just did, right? Yeah. Come on. This game is actually kind of fun. I think I'm going to have to play it. Seems to be playing well. What is that? Where am I going? In the door? Whoop. Oops. Alright. So I do a lot of talking while I'm filming and playing these games. And I know most of you guys don't want to sit here and watch all these games be played through on these systems. So I think I'm going to end the video here instead of going through a whole bunch of systems and playing more games that you guys have already seen 100 times. So you see the games or the systems that are included on this console. And for the most part, we've seen how they run. And this console is actually relatively decent despite not having a pivot. Much, much better than the other console I showed at the beginning. So I'm going to leave this where we are for now. And let me know in the comments if this is something you guys think would be for you, if you think it's ridiculous, or if you think that other one could be fixed, let me know. I'm looking forward to finding out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.